When Kim Kardashian made her way down the runway at the Balenciaga Fall 2025 Couture show during Paris Fashion Week, the world was watching. As one of the most influential figures in fashion, her every move carries weight, and this particular moment was no exception. However, what was supposed to be a showcase of elegance and poise quickly turned into an online spectacle. The moment Kardashian stepped onto the catwalk, her walk was the subject of intense scrutiny and criticism. Some fans and critics couldn't help but notice her unsteady strides, with many online describing her walk as awkward and uncoordinated. People took to social media comparing her to a drunk toddler and making snide remarks about her lack of grace. In a world where every tiny detail is under a microscope, Kim's once impeccable runway presence seemed to falter in the eyes of her detractors. One Twitter user even quipped, "Kim Kardashian's runway walk was like a 4 a.m. stumble out of a nightclub, but with more couture." As the comments continued to pour in, the fashion world couldn't decide whether to be appalled or amused by the situation. However, it's important to note that the majority of the online criticism came from a section of people who are notoriously quick to judge and ridicule celebrities. The rest of her fans were quick to defend her, praising her for her confidence in walking the runway despite the backlash. Kim herself, a seasoned media presence, did not directly address the comments but chose to remain calm, suggesting that there is always a lot more behind the scenes that we don't see. The incident sparked an important conversation about the precious celebrities' face and how the spotlight often shines brightest on their imperfections. Adding another layer to the controversy was the fact that Kim was wearing a stunning Balenciaga creation, an elegant cream dress paired with a heavy feathered coat. Her look was supposed to reflect the chic, avant-garde designs of the iconic fashion house, yet instead of admiring the ensemble, people seemed more fixated on her walk. Many fashion experts, though, noted how the dress fit perfectly with the aesthetic of the collection. The high-end materials paired with the exaggerated proportions of the coat made Kim stand out. But it wasn't just the clothes, it was the spectacle around it that took center stage. To some, it was clear that the real story was not the fashion, but the media's tendency to focus on trivial matters in the lives of the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Kim Kardashian, after all, has been an integral part of the fashion industry for over a decade. She's worked hard to become a mogul with an empire that includes beauty, fashion, and beyond. But when the spotlight shifts away from her business ventures and toward her runway walk, it reveals something more significant about society's obsession with perfection and appearance. However, not all eyes were on the drama surrounding her walk. Kim Kardashian's appearance at the show was an essential part of Balenciaga's presentation, and she was not alone. Many other celebrities, including Hollywood A-listers, lined the front rows. The event also saw the debut of a number of extravagant looks that made headlines for their boldness, including oversized shoulders, dramatic silhouettes, and high-fashion accessories. Yet, despite the noise on social media, Kim's walk undeniably took over the headlines, something she's quite accustomed to. While some mocked her missteps, there were others who noted how Kim handled the situation with poise. Instead of retaliating with a defiant post or overreacting to the criticism, she carried on with business as usual. It was almost as though the entire moment was another part of her carefully crafted narrative, a story where she stays calm under pressure and rises above petty criticism. This brings us to the heart of the conversation. Kim Kardashian is no stranger to public scrutiny. Whether it's her love life, her career choices, or her personal image, she's faced it all. However, Paris Fashion Week presented a unique type of pressure that not only tested her reputation but also allowed us to see how her image is shaped by the expectations of others. Kim has always been known for reinventing herself and adapting to her surroundings. Over the years, she has gone from a reality star to a businesswoman, from a fashion icon to a philanthropist. Despite all of her ventures, she's continually subjected to intense media judgment, particularly when it comes to her personal appearances. This particular moment at Paris Fashion Week was simply another chapter in her ongoing battle with public perception. Kim's ability to remain unshaken in the face of criticism speaks volumes about the level of resilience she has built over the years. While it may have been easy for her to lash out at her critics, she chose not to engage, taking the high road instead. In a sense, Kim is almost untouchable now, as her persona has evolved beyond just being a celebrity. She's now a brand, and Brands don't crumble under the weight of a few harsh comments. Moreover, this incident raises an interesting point about the expectations placed on women in the public eye. Kim Kardashian's runway walk, of all things, became the target of intense public scrutiny, not because of the clothes she wore or the work she was doing, but because of her physical movement. Women in entertainment, especially those in high-profile positions like Kim, are constantly asked to be perfect, not just in their professional lives, but in every aspect of their personal image. This kind of pressure is not only unreasonable but unhealthy. In a world where imperfection is often celebrated, Kim's stumble became a perfect metaphor for society's obsession with flawless appearances. In conclusion, while Kim Kardashian's Paris Fashion Week drama seemed like a fleeting moment in the media cycle, it's clear that this particular incident has sparked a larger conversation about perfection, public scrutiny, and the unrealistic expectations placed on celebrities. Kim's ability to carry on despite the criticism reminds us that the reality behind the headlines is often far more complex than the stories that are told. She may have faltered on the runway, but in the grand scheme of her career, she continues to be an unstoppable force in the fashion and entertainment industries. With the public's eyes always on her, there will always be moments of misstep, but it's how she rises above them that truly defines her legacy. Make sure you don't miss out on all the latest celebrity drama. Follow, like, and subscribe to Celeb Scoop 24/7 for your daily dose of juicy content. We've got everything from the hottest Hollywood gossip to behind-the-scenes moments you won't find anywhere else. Be the first to know what's happening in the world of your favorite stars, from fashion fails to exclusive scoops. So hit that bell, show some love with a thumbs up, and subscribe for more exciting stories coming your way. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of the action. Join the Celeb Scoop family now.